There's a moment many women recognize even if we don't say it out loud. You get dressed one morning and something feels different. Your clothes fit tighter. Your stomach feels heavier. Your body feels unfamiliar in a way that's hard to explain. And almost instantly, your mind starts searching for reasons. What did I eat? What did I stop doing? What did I do wrong? I remember standing in front of the mirror, trying to make sense of changes that didn't seem to have a clear cause. Nothing dramatic had shifted. My routines were mostly the same. My effort was still there, and yet my body felt like it was holding on. What no one tells us is how quickly body changes become personal. How fast we turn them into self-criticism. We live in a world that teaches women to monitor, manage, and correct our bodies at all times. So when something changes, the assumption is simple: I must not be trying hard enough. But bodies don't work in isolation. They don't respond only to food or movement. They respond to stress, to safety, to hormones, to seasons of life. Sometimes a body holds on because it has been asked to endure too much for too long. Sometimes it's not resistance. It's protection. I wish someone had told me that earlier. That weight gain, bloating, or swelling doesn't automatically mean something is wrong. That it doesn't always mean failure, neglect, or lack of discipline. Sometimes it means the body is adapting. Adapting to years of pressure, to constant output, to emotional labor that was never acknowledged. We're rarely taught to ask, what might my body need right now? Instead, we're taught to ask, how do I make this stop? And that urgency, the need to fix, flatten, or fight often creates more tension. This episode isn't about loving every change. And it's not about pretending these shifts are easy or welcome. It's about removing shame from the conversation. Because shame disconnects us from our bodies. Curiosity brings us back. You're allowed to feel confused by changes you didn't expect. You're allowed to grieve a body that feels less familiar. And you're allowed to stop treating your body like a problem to solve. Holding on doesn't always mean something is broken. Sometimes it means your body is asking for reassurance, for steadiness, for a slower pace. And when we respond with compassion instead of control, something softens. That doesn't mean the body changes overnight. It means the relationship changes. If you're listening and quietly feeling uncomfortable in your body right now, I want you to know this. You're not alone in that experience. So many women carry this silently, adjusting clothes, avoiding mirrors, making mental notes to deal with it later. But what if later starts with listening? What if instead of asking your body to shrink, you ask it what it's been carrying? There is nothing wrong with wanting to feel comfortable in your body. And there is also nothing wrong with acknowledging that your body might be in a season of holding. This conversation is an invitation to pause, to step out of self-blame, to remember that your body has been doing its best to support you through everything you've lived. You don't have to have answers today. You don't have to make changes right now. Just noticing without judgment is enough. As we move into today's conversation, I invite you to listen with softness, not to fix, not to control, just to understand.
Mama never told me my body would start talking back. Some days I'm strong and still some nights I crack. These mirrors tell new stories, lines I didn't plan to see. I'm learning who I am now while I'm learning who I used to be. Mama never told me I lose myself to find my truth, that growing older comes with questions and a different kind of you. Mama never told me, but now I know.
There are seasons when your body isn't asking to be fixed. It's asking to be listened to. If you've ever felt worn down out of sync or like your body is changing faster than you can understand, you're not alone. That's one of the reasons I want to thank Ziva Life for supporting this podcast. Ziva Life offers clean, plant-based wellness products designed to support everyday nourishment and balance, especially during seasons when your body is asking for more gentleness, not pressure. This isn't about quick fixes or promises. It's about giving your body something supportive while you're learning to listen again. If you'd like to explore Ziva Life for yourself, you can visit zivo.life and use the code Reggae Hour. One word for 30% off. Momma Never Told Me may earn a commission at no additional cost to you. And as always, only take what feels supportive for you. Now, let's continue. One day, you look in the mirror and your body feels unfamiliar. Your clothes fit differently. Your stomach feels heavier, your rings feel tighter, and almost instinctively the blame starts. I remember thinking, why am I gaining weight when nothing has changed? What no one told me was that bodies don't just respond to food and movement. They respond to stress, to safety, to seasons of life. Today isn't about controlling the body. It's about understanding why it might be holding on.
Erica, thank you for that. Your words resonate so deeply because I think we've all been there, right? That moment of feeling like your body has betrayed you and your first instinct is to try and fix it, usually with blame.
Absolutely. It's almost like an automatic response, that immediate judgment. You see a change and your brain just jumps to, what did I do wrong? Or, I need to eat less, move more, even when you're already doing those things.
Exactly. And that's the core of what we want to talk about today. This isn't medical or nutritional advice, just to be clear. This is truly about lived experience and gentle awareness, inviting curiosity instead of condemnation. Because my experience was I was doing all the right things and still seeing these changes.
Yes, and it's so frustrating because we're taught this very linear equation, calories in, calories out, but our bodies are so much more complex than that. They're constantly adapting to so many internal and external factors that have nothing to do with a spreadsheet.
And it's really easy to feel isolated in that experience, too. You think everyone else has it figured out, and you're the only one whose body is just not cooperating, when in reality, it's a very common experience that's just not talked about openly enough.
I think the shame really thrives in that silence, doesn't it? Like, I should know better, or I should be able to control this. And that just adds another layer of stress, which, ironically, can perpetuate the very problem you're trying to solve.
Oh, 100%. I remember a particularly stressful period in my life, like work stress, family stress, just everything hitting at once, and I distinctly remember my clothes just getting tighter, my face feeling puffy, and I was thinking, but I haven't changed my diet. It wasn't until much later that I connected it to the cortisol flooding my system.
Cortisol is such a huge one. We don't realize how much chronic stress impacts us physically. It's not just about feeling anxious. It's tangible, physiological responses. The body goes into fight or flight, and one of its responses can be to hold on to resources, including fat and water, as a protective mechanism.
Oh, Lakeisha, right on the money. It's like our primal brain kicks in, right? It thinks we're in danger, so it's trying to keep us safe by storing energy. And for us in modern life, that danger might be a demanding boss or a difficult relationship, not a saber-toothed tiger.
Exactly. The body doesn't differentiate, it just gets the signal. Threat detected, initiate survival mode. And part of that survival mode is often an inflammatory response, which can lead to bloating and swelling. My rings would feel so tight on days I was particularly stressed, and I'd just think, oh, I must have eaten too much salt.
Oh, the salt blame. We're so quick to jump to diet, but sometimes when I'm super sleep deprived, which is also a stressor, I notice swelling in my ankles or hands. It's not always food, sometimes it's just sheer exhaustion or a lack of recovery.
Sleep is another critical one. When we're not getting enough quality sleep, our hormones get all out of whack. Ghrelin, leptin, cortisol, insulin, they all play a role in how our bodies process and store energy. It's like a domino effect.
Out of whack is an understatement, maybe of the year, and it just begun. And the cascade effect of that is so real. You're tired, so you crave more sugar for quick energy. Then you eat more sugar, which impacts your blood sugar regulation, which then impacts your sleep. It's a vicious cycle that's really hard to break when you're just focused on eating clean and working out hard.
Yeah, and I think seasons of life is such an important phrase you used, Erica, because our bodies aren't static. They're constantly changing. Puberty, pregnancy, postpartum, perimenopause, menopause, each of these phases brings hormonal shifts that fundamentally alter how our bodies operate.
Right? And society often expects us to look and feel the same through all of them, which is just impossible. There's a pressure to bounce back or maintain a certain physique, even when your internal landscape is completely different.
Especially postpartum, I remember feeling so much pressure to get my body back, but my body wasn't mine in the same way anymore. It had housed and birthed a human. It was a completely different landscape, and it needed healing, not intense diets or punishing workouts.
And that's where the concept of safety comes in. If our bodies don't feel safe, whether from emotional trauma, chronic stress, or even just feeling constantly judged and criticized, they're going to hold on. It's a protective mechanism. It's saying, I need to buffer myself from this perceived threat.
That's such a profound point, Lakeisha. The feeling of safety is so foundational. If our nervous system is constantly activated, our body is going to prioritize survival over, say, optimal digestion or efficient fat burning. It's going to hold on.
It's like, when you're in a highly anxious state, your digestion slows down. Your body isn't thinking about absorbing nutrients, it's thinking, run. So that bloating you experience might not be about what you ate, but the state you were in when you ate it.
Or even the environment you're in. If you're constantly feeling judged or in a toxic environment, that chronic stress is going to manifest. We often focus so much on our internal experience, but our external environment plays a huge role in how our bodies regulate themselves.
So, how do we shift from that place of blame and frustration to curiosity and understanding? That's really the million-dollar question, because it's hard to break those ingrained patterns of self-criticism.
For me, it started with observation without judgment. Instead of saying, ugh, my stomach is bloated again, what did I do wrong? I started asking, my stomach feels bloated. What else has been going on today? Did I sleep well? Was that meeting particularly stressful? Did I take time to eat mindfully?
That's exactly it. Becoming a detective of your own body. It's not about finding fault, it's about gathering information. Keeping a little journal, even mentally, about not just what you ate, but your mood, your sleep, your stress levels, even the weather.
I found that paying attention to my menstrual cycle was a game changer. For years, I get frustrated with weight fluctuations or feeling more bloated, but then I realized it was just part of my natural cycle. Understanding that cyclical nature brought so much relief.
Oh, absolutely. Hormonal fluctuations throughout the cycle can cause significant water retention and changes in appetite and energy. Knowing that it's a normal physiological process, not some personal failing, is incredibly liberating.
And it's not just for people with menstrual cycles. Everyone experiences daily, weekly, monthly rhythms. Even seasons of the year can affect our bodies. We're not meant to be perfectly linear.
Exactly. Think about winter. Our bodies naturally want to be a bit more protected, maybe hold on to a little more. It's ancestral. But we fight against it because we see bikini ads in January. It's this constant battle against our own biology.
Anyone caught in a bikini in this freeze needs to be checked out because that can't be natural. But yeah, that societal pressure is so insidious. It tells us there's one ideal body type and any deviation is a problem, when in reality, our bodies are designed for so much more than just fitting into a trend.
And it's really about cultivating a sense of gentleness. If you approach your body with aggression, with demands, it's going to resist. But if you approach it with kindness, with curiosity, with an open heart, it's more likely to respond positively.
It's about befriending your body, really. seeing it as an ally, not an enemy, and understanding that these signals, like bloating or swelling, aren't criticisms, they're communications. Your body is trying to tell you something important.
What if, instead of immediately trying to silence the signal, we just paused and listened? Oh, my stomach feels tight. Is there something I need to release? Am I holding tension somewhere else? What's the message here?
It takes practice, though, because that automatic negative self-talk is so deeply ingrained. But with consistent effort, you can start to rewrite those pathways, to choose a more compassionate response.
One practical thing that has helped me is simply placing a hand on the area that feels uncomfortable. For me, it's often my belly. Just a gentle touch and a deep breath. It's not about trying to flatten it or change it, but just acknowledging it, bringing presence to it.
That's beautiful, Erica. It's like a physical affirmation of, I'm here with you, I hear you. Instead of pushing it away, you're inviting it in. That kind of self compassion can be incredibly healing.
And it reminds me of practices like body scans, where you just gently move your awareness through different parts of your body, noticing without judgment. It helps you get out of your head and back into your physical self, where the information is stored.
It's really about building that internal dialogue of kindness. We're so quick to be kind to a friend who's struggling, but when it comes to ourselves, especially our bodies, we can be our harshest critics. It's time to extend that same empathy inward.
Totally. And recognizing that your body isn't trying to punish you, it's literally always trying to do its best for you, based on the information it's receiving, based on your environment, your stress, your sleep, your emotional state. It's truly a miracle, always working to keep you alive and thriving.
Yeah, it's not failing you, it's adapting. And understanding that perspective shift can take so much of the burden off. It allows you to move from fighting your body to partnering with it.
So, as we wrap up today, I really want to invite everyone listening to take a moment. Wherever you are, if it feels comfortable, place a hand on your belly. Just let it be. Don't try to flatten it or suck it in. Just soften it. Feel the warmth of your hand. Breathe into that space. And maybe, just maybe, whisper a silent thank you to your body for all it does, even when you don't fully understand it. Let's extend that grace.
That's such a beautiful and profound invitation, Erica. It brings it all back to that gentle awareness and self compassion. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that our bodies are living, breathing, responding entities, not just objects to be controlled, and a little kindness goes a very long way. Thank you both for this wonderful conversation.
Thank you both, Sandeep and Lakeisha. And to all our listeners, we hope this conversation has offered you a new perspective and a little more gentleness towards your incredible body. We'll catch you next time.